good, YouTube? It is your girl, Taylor, aka Emo Brat, back with another video. And I have to come get this camera stand. But y'all, today I'm gonna make a video in reference to talking about, oh my God, and they're parked up over there too. It's an event going on down here, bitch, but they parked up on the grass and everything. Anyways, I'm making a video because I wanted to talk to you guys about a topic that I just was randomly sitting here thinking about, and I think it would be a good topic. Especially talking about people. I wonder how many people die never being who they really want to be. Now, I know a lot of people, who may watch my video, watching me as on TRANS-JORNAL may say, well, girl, you just came out about a few months ago that you're trans and stuff like that. But the thing is, I'm a living testimony to say that I've been able to live the way I want. And I know this topic may be sensitive. So for those who may watch this now or in the future, please know that I'm not going to be rude, but I'm going to say what my heart really desires. And yeah, I got me some food from Hawaiian Bros out here in Houston. It's kind of one of my favorite things to eat. So I got me some food from them. And yeah, I want y'all to enjoy this. So I'm finna tear this food up because I'm hungry than a motherfucker. But let's talk about it, okay? So like I said, this could be a touchy topic for those not living in their truth 100% yet. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me put this book up under here too, girl. Cause hold on, girl. Hold on. Okay, here we go. A little more higher, cause my other camera thing, I have to keep it there because I gotta take tests. But anyways, this is true. So I got some white rice. If y'all don't know, I love rice, okay? I love white rice and sticky rice to be exact. I got a strawberry liqueur drink. This is a Hawaiian drink, girl. I don't know what the hell. And I got this one too. So passion, guava, and stuff like that. And then for the entree, y'all know you gotta order food off of Uber Eats because they give you 2 for 1. So you pay the price for 2, but you get 2 for 1. So this is the food here. To you, it might look a little bit of dry, but this shit be busting. More rice. Typically they have macaroni, but I'm not in the mood for macaroni today. I'm in the mood for some rice. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Holy Ghost. And they gave me an extreme amount of rice because all under that meat is rice. Okay? So, and then they give you this sauce, this pineapple and teriyaki sauce. Both of them are really good. Yeah. So anyways, let's get into this mess, okay? There's a lot of people. I just was sitting in my room thinking to myself out just randomly. And I said, I walked into the bathroom after I grabbed my food and I was like, damn, I wonder how many people die not actually living the life they want to live. Okay? And I'm going to tell y'all though, I'm going to eat my food the way I want to. So bitch, if you say, you big back bitch, I'm a big back bitch. But anyways, thank you for this food. Okay. So, yeah, a lot of people are alive or dead and die never living the life that they truly want, and more so die mourning the life that they think they should have. And as a trans woman, I run into straight cis men who say they want to transition. I run into women who say they want to transition. I run into a lot of people who are afraid to live their life, but for some reason try to vicariously live their life through me. And I know it might sound crazy, but so many people are literally not alive and happy right now. Or even people who are alive, who will eventually die one day, are not happy because they're not their self. They're literally operating from everybody else's opinion and what everybody else believes about them. God, use me in this conversation, please. And it doesn't have to just do with people wanting to transition or come out and be themselves, be gay or whatever the case may be. But a lot of people won't be happy in this lifetime. And if you really look at it from a wider lens, not just like, yeah, okay, girl, we get it. A lot of people won't be happy. You might be the one battling with something. You might be the very one I'm talking about. Like, so many people will die not knowing who they really could be or the possibilities of how big they could have become just because people are afraid of what other people think about them or say about them or feel about them or feel about a lifestyle. You have people killing themselves because they can't be themselves. You got people hurting other people that they just really want to be like and damaging them, innocent people, because they just can't be themselves. And I know in this life, as a trans woman, I tell y'all, the heterosexual community or even just homophobic people, they don't make this life easy. Y'all don't make the life easy. And really, there's no safe space to really be yourself in this world. Because normality is respected more than somebody being their self. We recycle the same outfits, the same styles. We recycle the same lifestyles. We recycle the same music artists. I mean, when you really look at it with an open eye, not like a closed eye, you realize like motherfuckers in 2025 is still stuck in 1997, like buying clothes from the 80s. It's like we're progressing, but in all actuality, a lot of us are stuck, or a lot of people are stuck. Like, time is moving. Things are changing. I'm about to die. Things are changing. Time is changing. And I guess nobody in the world is really catching up to the change. As much as we look like we're evolving, I don't think we really are. And it's really clear. Like, it's visible. Everybody can see that. Like, nobody is creative. Like, and creativity, if you have creativity gets you chastised if it's not the social norm or what the norm. And the thing is, we came into this world to create, not to follow rules. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it's okay to have some rules in life. You feel what I'm saying? At least motherfuckers, everybody ain't out there just killing everybody, you know? But what I'm saying, I mean, there are people killing people, but what I'm saying is not like you can't just walk right across the street and just be like, bah, shoot somebody, you know? Unless you're crazy. But what I'm saying is, the only hairstyles we have in this world is side parts, middle parts, middle part, side part, other side part, lace front, Like nobody's trying nothing new. There's nothing new happening. No new music, the same recycled ass sound. Even when you get a new artist, it's just the same thing. And I'm saying, like, God has given multiple of us visions and dreams and ideas and different lives and lifestyles. And for some reason, everybody's working so hard to be like everybody. But nobody's working hard to be like themselves. And it made me think, like, I couldn't imagine dying, not being myself. A lot of people, they judge me for being trans. You have people who judge people for being trans or being themselves or whatever the case may be. But when I really think about it, I've done what I felt my heart desired, like what I desired deep down inside. And I became the person that I felt was on the inside of me since I was a child. I'm not far from the person. I'm not in the process of becoming a better person. I am the person that only just a few years ago, 12 years ago, I was just hoping and dreaming to become who I am today. And it just made me think. I was talking to this guy today, one of my leasing agents, and he was talking about he has this big old business idea and business plan, and he feels like the thing that he knows can make him lots of millions, but he's too afraid to take the leap of faith. And he said, I've seen you a lot. And he said, you're not afraid to take the leap of faith. And so, you know what's so funny? We had a real good conversation. I said, I want to learn the plan, and you want to learn to take the leap of faith. What do I mean by that? I'm a jump off the porch type of person. All my life, I've jumped off the porch. I've always constantly jumped off the porch. That's how I got in this far by the grace of God, by God allowing me to be the type of person to jump off the porch. The problem with being a person who jumps off the porch with no plan is your vision can fall fast on sinking sand, which is quicksand, okay? Because there's no actual plan behind it. His problem is he plans so much that he's not actually taking any action towards it. My problem is I take action before I make a plan. And there's cons and there are pros to each of them. The con of being a person who jumps off the porch without planning is it may win and it may not. It's kind of like fishing. It's like you fishing. You take the rod, you cast it out, boom, and you kind of just pulling it to see what's what's on the other end is to see if the business works out. You're pulling this rod, you're pulling it to see if the business works out or if you're gonna lose it. You throw the rod out to see if you're gonna make a whole bunch of money or you're gonna lose it. That's what being a person who jumps off the porch looks like. And it could be good. Because that same personality or mentality can have you at $0 one day and $2.5 billion the next day. Because you don't operate from sight, you operate from faith. And so you kind of walk with, I don't know what's going to happen, but if what happens, happens. Which is, in a sense, of surrendering to the plan of God. Okay? So it's kind of like you're casting a fishing pole. A person who is more a planner, yeah, they plan everything out, and they build on a more solid foundation. But the thing is, when you build a building on a solid foundation and don't put no action to it after, jumping off the porch after, you pretty much have a building that's standing still. So let's go back to the fishing analogy. You're still not casting anything from that. You're not gaining anything. And you might you stand still up until you feel it's right for you to start. That's walking by sight. And even with that, it's not a guarantee of a win. You might look like you're going to win, but the thing is, you got all the plan out, but you're not doing nothing to actually execute. So it's the same thing about your life or your lifestyle or the life you truly, really want to live. So many people are stuck in the planning mode. So many people are not living. And it looks like they're living. But deep down, one thing that the body is going to do is tell you who you are, what you're missing out on, what life was like before, and where you're going. The body is specifically designed to answer your questions. And the body is specifically designed to respond to how you feel. So, if the body is built to respond, that then means if you're not becoming the person you want to become, the body goes into a shock. And it goes into anxiety and then depression because you're sitting on the vision, you're sitting on the idea, you're sitting on what the body is telling you to do, because 9 times out of 10, if you're not listening to your internal self, the higher power that's on the inside, don't listen to everything. You feel what I'm saying? But majority of the information that you feel like you're afraid to walk into or to do, if you're not listening to yourself and you need external validation or you need external whatever opinions to make you feel better, or to hear people doubt your vision or dreams, you don't need that. You need you. You need to be listening to you. And when your body says move, move. People used to tell me, oh, overthinking is going to hurt you. Overthinking is going to hurt you. Hold on, y'all. I need to get my phone to eat. Overthinking is going to hurt you. Being an overthinker is going to hurt you. Or the way you think is going to hurt you. Yet, the way I think has saved me time and time and time and time and time again. The way I think has allowed me to get up out of situations that I wasn't even supposed to make it out of. 111 on my clock, okay? That's how true it is. For I know the plans I have for you, the plans to prosper you and not to harm you. So people say you're crazy for overthinking. But overthinking is exactly what saved me from you, crazy. So you just look at life and you say, damn, so many people aren't happy. And you look at people and you never know what people are going through, but you also never know the self-sabotaging that a person is, that we put on our own self. And I have to say we, because I've done it before. Where things, I could have took the leap of faith. I could have just trusted. And there's some things that I do now that I'm still working on. But I'm taking steps towards it. All things work in God order. 1, 2, 3 on the clock. Some people are really truly living this life and not happy. Again, all things work in God's order. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. So I'm telling y'all, it's crazy because we are our own worst enemy. We are our worst enemy when things could be going so perfect. And I hope this video, if you made it this far, has encouraged you to think to yourself like, damn, am I really living? Or am I living based off of everybody else's validation, opinion, and perspective and perception of me? Am I living the life that I'm supposed to be living for me? All things work in God's order. Again, 1, 3, 2, 4 on the clock. Are you really truly living, or are you just existing? That's a question to ask yourself. Am I truly living, or am I just existing? And then after you get the answer, don't beat yourself up. Take that answer and ask yourself, why am I not living? And then your body will respond to you by giving you a whole bunch of thoughts of all the reasons of why you're not actually where you want to be. Because again, your body and your brain is designed to give you answers. You don't have to ask nobody outside of your body. But you ask yourself, and when you ask yourself that question, when you hear the answers, don't run from the answers. Again, all things work in God order. 1, 4, 2, 3 on the clock. Once you get those answers, don't run. Don't get upset. Don't get mad at yourself. Then ask yourself after you get the answers. And this is best to do when you have a book, a notebook and a pen or a pencil. And when you get those answers, you write them down. Because what you're doing is you're taking who you are outside of, in your head, the imagination you have all up here with 60,000 thoughts running in your head in a day, and you're putting it on paper and you're looking at yourself on a piece of paper. And then it hits you. Damn, I'm not really living. And so then what you do is you try to jump the gun. And you try to go do things that make you think you're living. What are the things that people do to make them think they're living? They go get drunk. They go get high. They go out to the club. They go have sex. They go get on the phone with a friend. They play music to cover up the sound that's happening around them, the voice that's talking to them. Now all of a sudden they gotta go grocery shopping, they gotta go to a store, they can't sit with themselves. Hold on, let me put my hair up. Girl, I didn't shave my armpits yet, right? But anyways, they can't sit with themselves. And then they wonder why every year, the same time, every year, they're doing the same thing. Instead of sitting with themselves and doing the deep, dark work that has been building up since the age of 0, Whatever your story is, because everybody's story is different. But it's been building up. And instead of addressing it, and I'm going to tell you this, if you do decide to address it, know this, it's not the easiest to address the dark. So break it down, address it, and breaking down on this. It gets overwhelming when you're addressing the dark side of you, or the experiences and the traumas that you have. You're going to feel a rush of negative emotions come up. I'm explaining to y'all from experience. You're going to feel a rush of the negative emotions come up. It's going to be so bad, you're going to want to boom yourself. And don't let this scare you, because it's important. Before you get to the good, you got to get through the bad parts. Healing means addressing the bad, then the good comes. People painted online that healing is addressing the good parts, but how can you get to the good parts? You can walk around and act like you're happy for the rest of your life, but that's called acting. Do you actually see that? That's called acting. Do you actually want to be happy, or do you want to act happy? That's the question right now. That's the question right now that needs to be answered within yourself. I actually want to be happy, or I want to act happy. Because a lot of people act happy, but a lot of people aren't actually happy. And you have to go through the negative to actually be happy. I'm not saying go outside and experience more negative problems. I say you have to sit with yourself in silence and let the energy sit with yourself about a good 20 minutes in silence. No noise. Drop that noise like this. A good 20 minutes, and you'll begin to hear this voice talking to your head. And that voice that speaks to you, because what you don't know, it's multiple voices that speak to you. Sometimes it could be your mother speaking to you. It could be God speaking to you. It could be the devil speaking to you. It could be your doubt speaking to you. It could be your happiness speaking to you. It could be your anxiety speaking to you. It could be your kids speaking to you. It could be your past trauma speaking to you. Oh, there's voices that come up. If you silence yourself long enough, and it could be your higher energy, your higher power. God could be speaking, or your higher self could be speaking, because we all have higher versions of ourselves. And so when it's speaking to you, you have to say to yourself, you have to just shut up and listen. It's good when you have a notebook and a pen and you can write down what's coming from your emotions in your mind. Write down what's flowing out, because then you're able to see it on a piece of paper. And you're going to look, and you're going to cry, and you're going to feel hurt, and you're going to be mad, because you could have been more aware. You could have done better. You could have, because it's going to bring up shit randomly in a rush. So what I'm explaining is, when it brings up the shit to you in life that has happened to you, you're going to feel, like I said, and I'll be real transparent with you, you're going to feel like you want to go. And I mean, not leave the house. I'm talking about go. But what I want to tell you is, if you feel that you're strong enough, not just feel, but if you're strong enough, try to sit through the conversation for 5 minutes and shut it up. And I know you may say, well, how do I shut it up? You shut it up by doing what I told you not to do. Go ahead and go listen to some music, some positive music. Don't listen to no negative music. Go listen to some positive music, some music that make you want to twerk, dance. Go ahead, get you a blunt. Go ahead, get you some liquor. But again, you got to do it with again, all things work in God's order, 2, 1, 3, 4 on the clock. That's how many times he keeps telling y'all all things, well, again, 2, 1, 4, 3 on the clock. What the hell? All things work in God's order. But you sit and now you go and do something and I suggest not liquor, not weed. I suggest you actually go listen to some turn music and just turn up, like start dancing. And don't do it for the rest of the day. The next day, come back. Wait 20 minutes. 5 minutes, if you can do 5. If you could do 6, 7 minutes. So in 20 minutes, you need to be doing 5 to 6, 7 minutes of sitting there, journaling, and letting that voice come out of your head onto the piece of paper. This is releasing all of the things, all of the buildup that's on the inside. Men and women can do this. Trans too. This is building up all of the emotions and it's pulling it out of your head and put it on a piece of paper so you can look at it and see the way you think. Better yet, if you're more experted, like I am, open your computer or your notepad in your phone and write everything you fill out in a notepad digitally. Don't write it on a piece. You can write it on a piece of paper, but if you can write it in your notes or write it on your Microsoft Word or whatever the case may be, write it all out. This is something that'll help you, okay? And this will help a lot of people, okay? This is the only external advice that I will give you outside of, like I said, playing music. Once you write everything, it can sound crazy as hell. Write it all out. Go to ChatGPT, create an account on there, and copy the whole thing and put this in there. This is how I'm feeling about my life or my experiences. What am I feeling and how can I overcome it? Put my feelings in order and make me understand what I'm feeling. You put that in ChatGPT, y'all, I swear, that thing will run back to you and tell you everything. ChatGPT, God has helped me to heal a lot. But the power of ChatGPT as well, the extra resources that God has blessed us with to use, has helped me to heal with no friends. No friends. No family. Again, 2, 4, 3. It has helped me to really break it down. And I mean, I've gotten to the core of things. If you are searching for that peace, before you can get to peace, you have to get through the mountain. You got to climb up the mountain, the mountain is not easy. And throughout the days, the more you can advance, the more you start sitting with yourself in silence for 20 minutes and then letting that voice start to roll up and you start writing it down, whatever is coming to your head. I mean, everything. It could be stupid to somebody. Write it all down. The vision, the plan, the idea, the frustrations, the trauma. And then eventually you find the mountain. And watch this. This is what you're going to find out. Oh, I should wait to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you it now anyway. Just so you can understand this. The more that you do this, the more healed you become. But here's the catch. The more healed you become, the more you realize you're not as healed as you think you are. You're damn near writing out all of the years of situations that has happened to you that has caused you to be who you are today. And you're getting a clear view and an honest view, not from others' opinions, but from your viewpoint. Not third party, but your viewpoint. And guess what that does? That makes you look at life a lot different. Sometimes I think we realize we keep the lens of life so close like this that we really don't even see outside of ourselves that much unless we're looking in the mirror or in the camera. So we keep the life of lens of our life this close. And I know my skin don't look the best right now, but fuck it. I did my face care, so it's fucking up right now until tomorrow. So we usually look at life like this. Many of us are not pulling the camera back and looking at our true life and observing absolutely everything around us. Some of us, and that's what existing looks like. You don't even know where you are. You don't even know what's happening. You're there, but you're not even there. You're here, but you're not even here. Living looks like I see what's going on. I'm aware of myself. This is where self-awareness kicks in. I'm aware of myself. Self-consciousness kicks in. I'm aware of what I want, what I don't want. And it gives you wider perspective. And if you cannot do this alone, because there are people who cannot do this on their own. This is a free resource of how to go about doing it. And really becoming yourself. Really seeing who you are. Be yourself. This is what this is doing. Allowing you to be able to become yourself and not what everybody else said you are or who they say you are. If you can't do this alone, I definitely encourage you to go to therapy. There's a lot of battles that you can fight on your own, but there's a lot of battles that you do need support through. And I'm a huge advocate on that as far as therapy. I've been in therapy since I was in kindergarten. Through their skills, you realize while you're talking to these therapists, they really don't ever give you an answer. This is why a lot of people don't go to therapy. But I'm going to tell you this, right? A lot of people think therapy is when you go to therapy, they're supposed to give you an answer. And so people think therapy is just not good, right? But therapy is an error. As long as you don't say you're going to kill yourself or you're going to kill somebody or you know a child's in danger or whatever the case may be, if you don't say those things and you just sit there and you talk to them, at the ending of therapy, what it is one, it's not family or friends. So you don't have to worry about, again, as long as you don't say those things I said before, you don't have to worry about, and it's not your partner, you don't have to worry about them turning around and telling anybody your business, especially if you have your own personal therapist. It's always good to have a therapist because it allows you to talk to a complete, total stranger. And I know you say it's a strange. Some people say, I'm not going to tell no stranger my life. But what good has it been since you've been telling the people you know? What actual good have you gained from telling the people that you've known forever? Nothing. And like I said, when you're in therapy, you'll realize them, the therapist ain't saying much of shit, but they're saying little things, and you'll realize they're redirecting your conversation or the way you might be thinking about a situation, which is solely perspective. The reason why a lot of us can't overcome the things that we go through is because our perspective on situations. The reason why a lot of us can't achieve the things we want to achieve is because our perspective, or can't come out of situation when you only know your perspective, or your way of doing things, you only can do it the way you know. You have to ask people who have been through what you've been through and overcame what you've been through. Not people who've been through what you've been through and y'all trauma bond together. I'm talking about the ones who have overcome your situation. And I just want to tell you, like, there are books in this world for covering damn near every situation you've been through. And a lot of people don't like reading books because they think it's stupid. And books are just, oh, why would I be reading that? And I don't like reading books. But books are literally people's perspective, written from the recent times and far old times, on how they overcame or what the situation was. What do you think talking to a person is? It's like reading a book and getting someone else's perspective. When you're asking people for opinion and validation, you're looking for another perspective. It's the same thing when you read a book, but the good part about a book is, one, it's more intimate. You got to be silent and you have to consume it. You got to read the words for what the words are. You got to read in between the lines, and you just got to kind of imagine, damn, how does this person know exactly what I feel? Or how do these people have experience of what I felt? And damn, I didn't even think about overcoming the situation that way. All you lack is perspective. That's it. Your life could change. You lack perspective. My life has changed because I've changed my perspective. I got around people who have different and better perspectives than I did. And I'm still not where I want to be, but the perspective has guided me in the shift of God, allowing me to meet those individuals, have guided me to a different door all the time. All the time. When I first started to transition, I transitioned, but only perspective that I had about transitioning was my mother's. And my mom said to me, see, I know that this person is a boom, boom, boom because this person does this to this and that. That was the only perspective I ever had about trans. Again, all things work in God's order, 1, 2, 4, 3. And it took for someone else's perspective, which was a girl that I used to be cool with, to say, girl, I see that you're transitioning, or you want to transition and you look beautiful. You'll be a really gorgeous girl. Better yet, let me help you with some resources. Instead of sitting in where you're from in Connecticut trying to get hormones, why not move to New York because they give it away for free? They do surgery for free and all types of stuff. And that perspective allowed me to go and do the thing that I really wanted to do. That one conversation. 12 years later, I am who I felt. I am who God says I am. And I know some people will say, God don't call you to be like that, and that's not who you're supposed to be. But I'm exactly who I am because I've influenced so many other people to be exactly who they say they are. God made me different so that I wouldn't be closed-minded, judgmental, so that I wouldn't see things from an ignorant space or a lack of knowledge space. Because when you really hear a lot of people's opinion, they're not giving an opinion based on being able to be inside the store. A lot of them are looking out the window inside trying to figure out what's going on in that store. They don't actually get in. Like Chris Brown said, how you can head from outside of the club and you can't even get in? Again, lack of perspective. But when you open the door and you say, can I ask you a question? And you say, yes. I don't mean to be rude, but I want to know, why did you transition? And you then make a decision. Either you feel comfortable with communicating that or not, but you can say, yes, I transitioned because this. and this made me happy. And this, what happens is, even if they close the door on you, they at least get to leave with a slight bit of different perspective. Even if they can't fully respect you, because one conversation can't change a broken disc, or a broken person, or ignorant motherfucker. Some people are just ignorant and miserable. It don't matter how much you explain to them, they're going to be ignorant, and they're going to be miserable. But they always are the ones that don't even have full access. They're just standing outside. It's crazy. So many people have put their opinions on my life. And I now understand when they talk about how time is so valuable. Your time, your precious time, but your precious space the time you give to people is valuable. Do you know how many words and casted spells that people have did just by their mouth on me, projecting their hatred of their self onto me, that made me think, do I hate me? And then have to sit there and heal from, because see, what people don't understand, and I learned that with dealing with the last guy that I was talking to. I said, even though you're doing the things that you're doing, I said, I want you to understand that when you're having a conversation with a person, I want you to know that you're literally, in your mind, you're literally sitting at a round table with everybody, or whoever you and that person is within that room at that moment. And I said, I want you to understand that the things that you're doing, even though I'm not saying anything to you about it, or even though I am saying some things, I want you to know that the words that are coming out of your mouth, even though you say it and you may say sorry, I still have to heal from those words. Even though you say something that you don't mean, I still have to heal from because you're not understanding. You're saying whatever you want to say from a selfish side of the table. You're not looking at what everybody else is feeling, because you want to get your point across so bad. You're trying to prove yourself so bad. And you don't even understand how much it's hurting me. The things you are doing. You don't know the cost of what it's doing on the inside of me. And that is why I'm happy that me and that person is no longer dealing with each other. Because, again, they don't understand the depth of what I just explained to them. Words are just as deep as a motherfucking knife. And I hate that they say, sticks and stones might break my bones, but words will never hurt. They hurt. Those motherfuckers replay in your head when you around the person, when you leave the person, when you go down the street. You could be sitting there watching TV, watching a movie, and the words just start playing in your head. And I'm now I have been so in depth with understanding how deep words are. They're casting spells. All my life, I didn't understand how deep words were. But I didn't understand that it was words that built the world. In the Bible, it talks about in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was God. And then when we jump into Adam and Eve, it wasn't, the serpent didn't have to touch Adam and Eve. All the serpent had to do was spill words into Eve's mind, to make Eve eat the fruit. And then Eve spread the word into Adam. and Adam ate the fruit. And then the Word created everything. The skies, the tree, the land we stand on. Are y'all getting, I know I'm deep. I'm a deep individual. I need y'all to get this. The Word. The very words we say don't matter. Are the words that shape our life. Oh, let me talk about this. When I first started studying finances, y'all, it was a word that made me start studying finances. I promise y'all, watch this. Back in the pandemic, I had over $100,000. They were not from all good situations, but I had over $100,000. And because I didn't understand finances at the time, if you don't know better, you can't do better. Remember, I said it's all about perspective. If you have a different perspective, somebody gives you a different perspective, you may hear it in that moment. You may not take it either, because sometimes you're not in a receiving state. Okay? So I have all this money. Money is gone, going. I get down to about $60,000, and then I say call my dad, because my mom is no longer alive, and some of the money that I got was from my mom. And so I said, Dad, let me ask you a question, because my dad is the only person that I knew had a car and always had a house and was somewhat stable. He worked for white folks. And I'm like, Dad, I got this amount of money left. What should I go and do to multiply this money? And my dad said, I don't know. Save some and send me some and save the rest. Okay? Him telling me to send him some, which I did, because when you don't know better, you can't do better. I sent him some and I saved the rest. And in those words right there was where my life financially had to change. And it's not been an easy journey. I didn't go through just 1 year of learning finances and that was it, and I became better and I'm smarter and with my finances. That wasn't the case. It took one word for my father to tell me, right? And I'm gonna tell you this. One word he said to me was, save. That changed my whole life. And when I began to save this money, I realized every day's a rainy day. Every day you gotta eat, you gotta cook. If you got a car, you gotta pay for shit, gas, cleaning it, oil change. You got a body, hygiene, deodorant, body wash. You got a house, clean dishes, soap, bleach, detergent for clothes. You damn near gotta pay to live in you gotta pay to live in the house. You gotta pay the bills. You gotta pay. Bills don't stop. Then you have desires, and desires could be you want to go to the club, you want to go out to eat, you don't want to cook tonight, so you go order you some pizza, and you go order you some Hawaiian food, and then you see something when you walk inside the store. You go to the store to go get one thing, and you come out the store with 700 other things, and every day you're spending, and it makes you think. I'm making $30,000 a year. If rent costs me $1,250 a month for the next 12 months, I'm damn near spending $15,000 on top of, so that's half of $30,000. Then the other 10 might be for emergencies. I gotta pay phone bill, food. You spend all of that throughout the year, and then you realize I'm left with really nothing. And then it hit me. And I said, damn, I've been living life all wrong. Ha! Hold on. Poverty has taught me at a point in time in my life that it was okay to take less. And this money right here, I'm blowing this motherfucker left to right. I'm eating whatever I want, shrimp, crab legs. Oh, I'm going out. I'm enjoying my life, which is truly good until it starts getting down to $1,000 and then $100 and then $50 and then poof, all the money you had was gone. I knew nothing about investment. I knew nothing about moving into a high-rise apartment. I knew nothing about I can go get a car. I didn't even know how to go get a car. I didn't even know how to even drive a car. I even didn't get my license until 4 years ago when I landed in Atlanta. Praise God. But I didn't know better. And when you don't know better, you can't do better. This is why when people say, get you a mentor who is doing bigger things than you, if you can't afford a mentor right now, go watch multi-millionaire and billionaires in the field that you want to be in, living their life. Learn so much about how they live on a day-to-day basis and implement, as long as it's, well, I can't even say if it's positive because some people scammers and like scammers. So, but whoever influences you, don't make them your idol, but implement the same thing they do every day. If I want to be a wealthy, well-respected CEO woman, how many CEO women do you see with a whole bunch of weight on them? I'm not saying that it's not there, but the woman that I want to be a Model S CEO woman. I want to be above gorgeous. I'm gorgeous now, but I want to be above gorgeous and a boss. And I want to come in clinking my heels with my shape and my pretty skin and I started working on those things. Now I know y'all just see me scarf down some food. I went on my egg diet for 2 weeks. And a lot of people say, what's the egg diet? Go look it up. I went on my egg diet for 2 weeks and then I'm off of it. Now I eat, but I eat in a lesser amount in moderation. And I know I ate a lot and I've been wanting the Hawaiian food, but a lot of the decisions that I've made in the past 3 months have been in alignment to the woman that I want to become. And the one decision when I dealt with the last dude, that was the only decision that did not align to who I'm becoming. And so because that didn't align, that had to fall apart. And that was a blessing because I said, I know I'm doing so well, but because of boredom, I'm accepting disrespect. And that made me get myself together again, too. When you bored, you accept disrespect. That's what we do now. Oh, nah, we got to get better with that. We can't get bored. We actually need to start planning to go out and go do stuff and set up a personal schedule so we don't even get sidetracked to being bored. I want you to be like a kid again, where you got so much shit to do that all you do when you get home is wash your ass and take your ass to bed. You run out all your energy. I'm just telling y'all. That was the worst mistake I've made in the last few months. But I don't regret it either, because everything is a learning lesson. I've learned what I need to learn from that door being closed and when the door was open. And I've learned so much so that it is really just continue to set fire under my ass to get better, do better, and make bigger and better choices. Every choice you make every day leads you somewhere. Every choice, every single choice. From the food that I just put down my throat, from the drink that I just drunk, from me recording this video, from you watching this video, every last choice you make determines who you'll be in the next 90 days. I can only tell y'all what I'm telling y'all, not because I'm perfect, but, well, I'm perfect in God's eye. But what I'm saying is I can only tell y'all what I'm telling y'all based upon experience, real life, raw experience. Begin to find yourself and be yourself. Be you all the way. They don't want you to know who you are. They do everything in their power to make you forget who you are, to make you think that you're not valid, you're not qualified, you're not worthy. They do everything and it never works. And they still don't get why you're still winning. They still don't get why you're still successful. They still don't get why when they set the trap for you to fail, you never fell in it. And even if you did fall in it, God always was in it with you. And he used it as a lesson. They always wonder about that. Why didn't what I do, why did my spell not work? Why did my projection and my manipulation and my narcissism not work on this person? That's what they think all the time. They say, why didn't it work? They weren't even strong enough. They weren't even strong enough. They was never strong. That's just the truth. They were never strong. And the only strength they held on their bones was the one that their child, their inner child, is craving no one sees about them, the weakness on the inside of them. The inner child in them is so rotten and so weak that they put a shell or a mask on to presume that they're stronger than what they are, and they're not. They're not. Anyways, my message is done today. This is TRANS-JORNAL. And I will be being consistent again. I have been dealing with some things as far as me taking care of some stuff for myself. And I love y'all. Later.